Hello everybody, welcome to this amazing tier list for Resident Evil Resistance survivors. We've done a mastermind one time to cover the survivors. Now I didn't go over why and how I labeled the masterminds, mostly because I just really threw in what I liked. But ultimately, these ones I'll be basing them on how well they fit in a team. Are they diverse enough to be in every team? The more diversity and utility they have for any given team, they'll be rated higher, along with their potential to do moderately well at what they are supposed to do. So even if, let's say, Becca was the best at killing anything in the game, that's not going to be enough if that's all she's good at doing and she has no utility to her. So with that out of the way, we'll go from left to right and we'll get this over with. So we'll start with Becca. We'll just place her at B now as the starter, whether it gets in there. I should also mention my opinion. You get offended, it's okay. Go to the comments and type away. But anyways, looking at Becca, she is a damage character with primary on guns. She's also probably one of the strongest gun wielders in the game, as she's meant to be, holding infinite ammo, able to kill a lot of bioweapons, but also being a massive threat to biocores. She's probably the only gun-based survivor that's terrifying when it comes to biocores. Now, before her nerf, she used to take out all biocores at a distance with the rocket launch, but we are basing this on patch, or the second June patch. So the rockets no longer work on the biocores. They nerfed her ability to wield the rocket launcher with infinite ammo, and they nerfed her infinite ammo just slightly. Otherwise, she's actually still a pretty solid character, having a really good diverse set of damage in guns, having the ability to make any build for a variety of guns, but she is only a gun toter. She's not skilled at running any melee weapon. She's actually really low on life. I don't believe they've increased it from the last that I've seen, but her life should be 1,100, which was the second lowest in the game. I think it still might be the second lowest in the game. Might be the lowest after Martin got his health increased, but Becca, pretty solid character and goes well on most teams, but any team that is flooded with damage only, Becca doesn't provide anything other than gunfire, and getting a special weapon, she can utilize it better than anyone else. But other than that, she is primarily damage, and she's there to just kill everything. So unfortunately, we'll leave her at B for now, but then, yeah, we'll move on. January. Oh, maybe before this patch, January would go higher, but I would put January a little lower, maybe at C. January's interesting. She's not very strong compared to people like Becca in terms of damage, and she's got one of the only abilities to stop a mastermind like Spencer from using a mass amount of guns, and that's kind of been the thing back when guns were huge. But guns have been so heavily nerfed that people don't normally run guns anymore. But she's great at taking out cameras, great focus on that. She is a hard counter to Daniel. She has some very unique abilities and even pairs well with Becca, providing her with a unique weapon. But by doing so, if she were to do that, she's actually pretty useless on the team. She was there just to give stuff to Becca, and now she's got a MUP and she's got no way to increase the damage on the MUP nor get any kind of focus. Her abilities are primarily focused on cameras and messing with the mastermind. However, the mastermind can completely counter her abilities with a shield, or if she takes out a camera and that camera comes back, it's immune to January's ultimate. January is also very cost efficient in terms of, you know, buying additional ammo and healing. But honestly, January is the one character as a mastermind I don't care about unless I'm Spencer running guns. I mean, yes, she'll take out your cameras faster than anyone else, but there's other characters that could do the same thing. It's not special. And in terms of fighting someone like Daniel, Annette, or even Spencer with all zombies, you're kind of put in a bad position where if there's a lot of zombies, yeah, you killed the camera, but then what else are you doing? You're weaker than everyone else, and you're not really doing that much else. So ultimately, I think she's kind of outclassed in this current patch. Back when this game first came out, January is probably one of the strongest characters on the team because Spencer was a scary gun toter, and everyone just needed January to counter Spencer. And I think there's maybe another build that January can counter Spencer with, but it's just not consistent on strength. Like, if you see a January, either you're afraid of her because you're using a lot of guns, or, I mean, you just really don't care about her whatsoever. Jumping into Jill. Holy crap. Jill. Ooh, I don't know where I want to put Jill. Put Jill in A. Jill is a jack of all trades and does them all way too well. She could be a decent melee character. She could be a decent gun character. She could be an amazing January replacement. The character that can replace January is Jill. Not only that, but Jill can artificially replace Becca as well. Even though Becca can have an unlimited rocket launcher, Jill has a rocket launcher, and she doesn't need to find it or have someone supply it, and she gets 4 guaranteed shots she can hold on to. It's a scary thing, but if she doesn't use that, she also comes equipped with a magnum. Well, it's actually a pistol, but it's as strong as the lightning hawk. That gun blows through so much shit so fast, and she can use it so frequently. Jill's just good. You've got a Jill who knows how to play. You will have a Jill that clears rooms almost as good as Sam does. Now, the difference between Jill and Becca is that Jill, because of the way that she'll be using her ammunition and the fact she'll be using her ults, she's not nearly as much of a threat to a biocore as Becca may be with Becca's additional boost from Sentry Stance. But what Jill does have is the ability to fight off all the zombies and does well to get around, save allies. Becca is a very fast character with low life, but Jill is pretty fast herself and has more life, does more damage in her own way with reticle focus. One of the big differences you'll notice is that Becca, the gun toter, is capable of making a build out of any weapons, where Jill focuses primarily on guns where their reticles close quickly. So Becca is better with a shotgun, MQ-11, LE5, where Jill can't really utilize those nearly as much as Becca can. She doesn't get nearly as much benefit, especially with the shotgun. Shotgun doesn't technically have a reticle, so she doesn't get the bonus damage from that. So that kind of sucks. But it is what it is in terms of everything. Oh, Martin. Oh, Martin. I don't know where to put you. Oh, I don't know where to put you. You are a situational bastard. We're gonna leave him in B for now. He's good, and he's great, and he's a hard counter to Daniel. He's a hard counter to bioweapons, because he's annoying as hell. He's a great support character. But, like, I'm trying to think, if I play Spencer, I don't worry about Martin. If I play as Nikolai, I don't worry about Martin. But if I play as Alex or Daniel, I worry about Martin. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about Martin. He's a great character. But certain masterminds just don't give a shit about Martin. And they shouldn't. Martin's primary focus is being able to stun zombies, stop mines. Half the time, allies break the mines anyways with their face, and even if a Martin is there, unless that Martin and they're a whole pre-made group and everyone stands behind Martin, it's so situational when he does good because his allies screw him more than he's can help them. It's hard. I'm trying to remember of all my past experiences with Martin. And all of them are, I'm breaking one thing down in my hands, we're having a good time, mastermind places Alex's, trap right next to me. I'm like, okay, I can do both of these. And then Sam runs by, blows it up, blows me up because I'm breaking the thing, and then I die. And I'm like, that's not good. But overall, I mean, Martin does good at stunning Mastermind's bioweapons with the flashbang, but I also argue so does Jill and Becca. With infinite rocket launchers, you can kind of hold the Mastermind back with those. So yeah, you can make it work with both Becca and Jill just as you can with Martin. Martin's extra inventory space allows him to be supportive and help people out, but of course there is another support character who may outclass Martin in a way. It doesn't make Martin bad, it just makes Martin unique and good at certain things where other people can do better. Sam is easy S. Sam has been and always will be probably my favorite character in the game, and I played him before anyone else realized how good he was. I played back in the day when everyone laughed at me that I picked Sam, and they never read his passives, they never looked at what he did, they didn't even look at what his variants were, and then nobody picked Sam. Everyone went with Tyrone. And I sat there and I was like, you guys know that Sam is the single strongest character in the game. The only thing Sam is not good against are cameras. And so that's where Nikolai is moderately strong. Before Sam's nerf, Sam was a legitimate god, using both Immortal and Recovery Punch to never die. No one could kill him for some reason. Nemesis doesn't give a shit. Birkin? Nah, he'll take everything to the face. Mr. X couldn't even outduke the Master. I've seen memes of Sam scaring the bioweapons into the safe room, and they said they'll wait it out. It's true. Sam was terrifying, and pretty much the only way to play against the Sam was to just ignore him or gun him down immediately. And if you are a net, he is your worst fear. He just kills any zombie no matter how much health it has. He just cuts through everything you have, and unless you are Alex or Nikolai or Spencer running guns, you're gonna have a bad time. Even Daniel struggles against Sam. Usually it turns into a brawl where they just tussle for a while, so the other three survivors go do all the objectives while, you know, Daniel and Sam are rolling together down the hill in the grass, and one stares into the other's eyes, and they make sweet love. But anyways, to the point, Sam is just a terrifying character, mostly because he can also well, before the buff to the Biocores, he could 6-shot a Biocore with a sledgehammer. 6 swings, it broke. By himself, he was just a character you could not let get to Area 3. If you did, it was good game. And it still kinda is good game. So you don't let him get to Area 3. So what's his counter? You infect the crap out of him and pray to God he doesn't cut through everything you have. That's Sam, in a nutshell. There obviously could be good and bad Sam players, but Sam is spooks. Alright, we have Tyrone. Tyrone is not bad. You know what, let's fix that up a little bit. Tyrone is not bad at all. He's a good supportive character. Would I rather Tyrone over Martin? That's harsh. Maybe. Yeah, okay. So Tyrone serves 2 roles. Tyrone is the tank, but he also counters a lot of door cheese. He busts through Spencer's 3-level lock. He's got a heal. He's able to reduce damage on everybody, nullifying all guns, nullifying all damage, nullifying any traps that they have. The only thing people can do really against Tyrone is take away your time. And that's about it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be upset about the D rank, but my tier lists have always been a bell curve. A tier list exists to compare how good survivors are to each other, so someone always has to be at the bottom. So if you're in love with January, I'm sorry, in my tier list, unfortunately, I never want a January on my team anymore. Not in these days. I would take anyone at the A and the S before, so when it comes to Tyrone, he's kind of filler. To be honest, I would either take Tyrone or Martin. I would love to have a Jill, I would love to have a Sam, but Tyrone, He gets himself up when in danger, can make some very good clutch plays. He can kick the Mastermind. Again, it's in terms of that like whole Martin counters a Mastermind's bioweapon, but so do so many other people. And Tyrone's kick is on a 5-second cooldown compared to a full ultimate. Now, it doesn't stun nearly as long, but in terms of freeing allies, Tyrone is really good at it. He can come in clutch, protect people from some very close situations, and he is a melee character. He usually starts with a weapon. He also has the ability to kind of be immortal. They buffed him recently that gives him the ability to heal for as long as he is not in find status. And that's insanely good because that allows him to recover. His one true weakness, though, is infection, because everything he does typically gets him close in combat, and that's where infection comes in. And unlike Sam, Tyrone doesn't have a recovery punch to get rid of the infection. Martin actually can resist infection naturally. Jill and Becca both could stay out of infection at a distance, so, you know, he's got a bit more utility than everyone else. Now, I see a lot of people in chat. We are making this live on Twitch. People talking about January being necessary for Spencer. Yeah, that's great, but being necessary for one Mastermind, it's just, that's not very good. Because what if you don't get Spencer? What if you get Annette? Now you're useless. But anyways, definitely Tyrone, a solid pick, but not amazing and not weak. Just a good filler. And then up to Valerie. Yeah, Valerie's S tier as well. Valerie, if you don't have her on a team, your team suddenly immediately begins to suffer. Valerie is the carry. Anything a Mastermind can do, Valerie can undo at her own whim. Valerie is the only survivor with infinite healing, infinite infection recovery, the ability for, well, they just nerfed the infinite grenades, but she can buy a butt ton of grenades, total of 12, down from infinite, because it was infinite. Inferno, Molotov bullshit, endless fucking flashbangs. Her other passive, although she can't buy them anymore, she just gets free explosives. Like, talk about countering a Mastermind. Valerie counters everybody. If you're playing Nikolai guns, don't worry, her spray gun will instantly heal any damage you can dish out. You use Nemesis, she's got a flashbang for you. You playing Alex? Don't worry, any infection bombs you put down, any explosives, she'll just pick them up if they go down. That's no big issue. Oh wait, you get the big plant? Don't worry, she's got an army of Molotovs coming your way. You're fucked. Let's see, what else? Oh, you playing Daniel? Flashbang. You playing Spencer? Flashbang, grenade, Molotov, you name it, sweetheart, she'll counter it. You lose guns? Oh, guns. How barbaric. Who else is there? What do we got? We got Annette. She don't give a shit. She'll Molotov your shit. Valerie just doesn't care. Valerie can do everything well, and she's got 2 extra inventory spaces to carry all those extra first aid sprays. Not only that, she buffs everybody by marking enemies and creating just the easiest kill time for everybody. If you didn't know, her survival instinct, which allows her to see things that are nearby, not only marks every item so that every scrub lord who doesn't know how to find items can pick those up, but it marks the enemies and everybody just deals more damage. This includes biocores. If you want to see Sam 4-shot a biocore, bring Valerie along. That's why when you have those 2 on your team, you are a goddamn unstoppable duo, because anything that would kill Sam, Valerie will undo. And Sam kills everything, except for cameras. To which I mean, then you bring Jill. Jill's got a rocket launcher. You want to try to survive that? Good luck. End the story. The 2 S characters combined defeat the current meta. If you run any creature build, Sam destroys it. If you run any gun build, Valerie heals it. And if you run an infection build, Valerie and Sam cleanse it all. It's horrible. But that should be your top 2 characters. Mixed with Jill and Tyrone, oh my god, you've got devastation. You can, of course, swap Jill out for Becca, swap Tyrone out for either January or Martin in any way you want. As long as you have the 2 S characters, you will be fine. And that's it! It even spells F! Press F, everybody, to pay your respects to the masterminds that are going to have to suffer the Sam and Valerie combo up until they fix it. Maybe. But other than that, this is my tier list, so let's cover it one more time so we understand. Valerie is literally the most versatile character in the game. She not only is able to deal damage thanks to her survival instinct, but she is also able to buy as many explosives as she can or make them drop at an alarming rate. She's just the most versatile. You always want Valerie on the team. Same goes for Sam. Sam is the most damaging character in the game. Everyone could probably carry rocket launchers, but why would you want to carry rocket launchers when you have a sledgehammer or your fist? You know, just punch them in the face with your rocket fist. It's all good. Jill, probably the best damage dealer in general without only being stuck to melee. She's got good guns, good versatility on control, good support character in terms of letting Sam open the door and using a rocket launcher to clear the room. Becca, solid filler character. If you need that extra damage, she's got you covered. Be wary, armored characters kind of are her counter. Tyrone, a good counter to a lot of masterminds, a good way to mix up your team if you need a little bit of different support. If you don't have a Valerie, Tyrone can kind of make up for it. Kind of, you know what? I'll move Tyrone. Becca, get out of there. I'm gonna put Tyrone a little further ahead of Becca because I just kind of remembered he's like one of the only characters that has an almost near instant pickup on the heals. So he's kind of like a heal support melee damage. He kind of does what the top 3 do. They're pretty interchangeable. Becca, yeah, we already covered her, I think, right? Good, solid damage dealer, can replace Jill. Martin, not a bad character. All survivors are great, but again, the way that this has to be made is, you know, majority of the characters got to be center, and then it's all in comparison to each other. So honestly, I could live without Martin. Martin's not terrible. He's very niche. He's got some good works. He can do good, but I mean, ultimately, everybody can do everything Martin does except for disarming traps better, which, I mean, they could just shoot the traps, so. Sam can't disarm traps, though. Bad Sam. Don't hit those traps with your 2x4. I know you're gonna do it. And then January is a character that, although can be good, has fallen out of the meta. Again, based on everything I've seen, January can get work done, but everyone else gets more work done than she does. If she doesn't get the correct mastermind, she's almost worthless. If she, for example, I did say she does counter Daniel, but that's if she pulls a spark shot. If she does not, worthless. If she pulls a rocket launcher, she's got to give it to Becca, and then she's only a support character for Becca, and then January becomes the weak link of the team. Breaking cameras is great, but guns are not a thing anymore. People aren't running it, or they're running quick draw, which prevents them from having their cameras broken while a gun is out. So even if you are doing that, they'll still shoot you a couple times, disarm the camera, and then swap off. Masterminds probably have an easier time to playing with January around. It sucks, but January went from being probably a character you wanted on every team to one that you can swap in if you're doing a niche build for it, very similar to Martin. And that's it. So thank you all for watching. I hope this helped you all out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to talk, discuss anything, comments down below. Opinionated thing. Okay. Enjoy. And as always, good game.